This week's word of the week is xiàoshùn, xiàoshùn, which means filial as an adjective or filial piety as a noun. And if you ask a Chinese person what are the 3 to 5 most important qualities they will look for in a marriage partner, there is a very good chance they will say xiàoshùn as one of their top ones, as important as being loyal or kind. And it means to respect parents in particular and the older generation in general. And there are lots of great sources to read on the sort of origins of this in Chinese culture. Of course, it's also something in Western culture, coming from the Christian Bible, honor thy father and thy mother. But whereas Western culture has mostly been influenced by Greek philosophy, in China, Confucius, who lived around the same time as Aristotle, is their important figure, and he placed a very heavy emphasis on social harmony and obedience. Although, and this book here, Selfie, by Will Storr, How the West Became Self-Obsessed, has a great introduction to this at the beginning. So Confucius himself was a very eccentric individual, very much an outsider in society, but who has a reputation now as being a bit of a stick in the mud, which is somewhat deserved. Here's just a brief clip. The Chinese people's ultimate embrace of Confucianism would end up changing the world forever. Scholars such as Richard Nisbet argue that the flat and fertile landscape of China gave his ideas a kind of predestiny, in contrast to the Greeks with their islands and city-states and their concomitant view of reality as a collection of individual objects. China's rolling, isolated, conquerable plains and hills produced a species of self that worked best as part of a group. So in China, communism may be the topsoil, but everything underneath is Confucianism, which is also a highly collectivist ideology. For the descendants of Confucius, reality is not a collection of individual objects, but a field of interconnected forces. This means that East Asians tend to be more aware of what's happening in their environment. They'll see the whole picture, not merely its subject. They'll also understand that behavior can be caused by the forces of the situation one finds oneself in, whereas an Aristotelian thinker, focused on individual objects and the powers they possess, is more likely to assume that a person acts as they do because they willed it. And so it's been found in study after study. So one of the downsides of this conservatism is if you watch a video by James Burke, the scholar, the historian, who I will link to below, it's part of why in some respects progress has always been slow in China. So China invented paper and ink, but not the printing press, fireworks, but not gunpowder or the actual gun. And I think a huge part of the reason for this is the emphasis on xiàoshùn, filial piety, or honoring the older generation. So see below for more info.